Can't the AI replace WordPress? As you know, AI can now build websites in seconds. I'm sure you have seen a lot of commercials where they promise an AI tool that can build a website just by typing some prompts. And it is true. They can build awesome looking websites. So you may think that the AI is going to substitute completely CMS or content management systems such as Joomla, Drupal, or the most popular one, WordPress. Of course, everybody wants simplicity and speed. Everybody wants to build something with the least effort. So these website builders offer you the possibility of creating your website in no time. And you don't need to install anything. You don't need to install plugins. And you don't need any technical knowledge. Just a prompt, a few clicks, and that's it. Your website is up and running. Of course, for simple projects, this feels like magic. What are simple projects? A landing page, a portfolio, simple business site. And that is precisely the reason why a lot of people think that WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, and other CMS are becoming obsolete. But that's only part of the story. First of all, we must distinguish between static and dynamic websites. Static websites just show information, but nothing really changes. They are just like a picture on your computer screen or your mobile screen. On the other hand, there are other websites which are dynamic. They include users, data, payments, interactions, and systems that evolve over time. They imply a communication between the user and the website. The user may introduce some data, and the server gives back personalized data, a personalized experience. And of course, this is where things start to change. This is where AI created websites are not as powerful. The AI website builders work wonders with static websites and also with some very simple dynamic websites. If your idea is just to present information, create a landing page, or just to test an idea quickly, the AI is a very good tool. It gives you speed, it reduces friction, it allows you to go from idea to result almost immediately. For these kinds of websites, the AI nowadays is the best option, the most rational one. But where do AI start to fail? The moment your website needs to do more than just display information, things become more complicated. Where you need to log in users, where you need payments, where you need integrations, where you need a logic, then you are no longer building a page. You're building a system. Your website is a whole system. And there, AI cannot build systems. The AI can generate results, but cannot build the logic. There is no clear architecture behind what it produces. And what is more important, there is limited control over how things work. And as your project grows, the lack of structure begins to be a problem. And suddenly, what was simple at the beginning becomes difficult to manage. And what a CMS actually gives you, especially such a powerful CMS as WordPress, is that it is not just a way to create pages. It is a system designed to grow over time. It gives you control over your site. It allows you to manage content, users, and functionality in a structured way. You can build the whole ecosystem that makes it possible to control your website when needed. And most importantly, it allows your website to evolve thanks to plugins and thanks to add-ons. Of course, building a website in WordPress needs more work, more insights, and more time. You need to be patient and you need to learn things if you are new to WordPress. If you find this information useful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. And I'm also curious, what are you using right now? AI tools or WordPress? Let me know in the comments. Of course, being WordPress a more complicated approach to building websites, there are some things you have to consider before designing yours. First of all, don't overcomplicate it. Having too many features and too many plugins can really affect your site's performance, and that can only lead to bugs and conflicts between plugins. Keep things simple and only use those plugins you really need. Don't try to solve every problem your website has by adding more complexity to it. The more plugins you will use, the more fragile your website will become and the more maintenance it will need. Plugins are wonderful add-ons to your website. They add functionality, they add flexibility, but don't overuse them. So in the end, WordPress is not the problem, it is the approach. WordPress gives you a wonderful freedom to build whatever you want, but you have to design your website the right way. So the real comparison here is not between AI and WordPress. The real comparison is between two different ways of building websites. You have on the one hand speed, on the other hand you've got control. On the one hand you've got convenience, on the other hand you've got structure and freedom. And you must also think that short-term simplicity has a cost. With WordPress, you've got long-term stability. The AI helps you start quickly, but WordPress helps you build something that lasts. If you want the best of the worlds, that is to say AI with WordPress, without dealing with complicated setups, then you've got a wonderful option. With Hostinger, which is the hoster I use, you can install a WordPress site in no time. You won't have to worry about configuring your database or connecting it to WordPress. Everything is done through Hostinger's wonderful AI WordPress site builder. With this builder, you get a working site very quickly, and then you will be able to customize it the way you want. This way you will have simplicity in the beginning and then flexibility and stability for the future. If you want to try it, I've left a link in the description below. By using this link, you will get discount on their plans. So to finish with, can AI replace WordPress? Not really. AI is a powerful tool, especially for simple and fast projects. But when you need a real system, a dynamic page, something that works and evolves, then you'll need structure. And in that case, WordPress is your best ally. And again, if you use WordPress, don't overcomplicate things. Keep things clean and simple. So if you are building a website in 2026, the goal is not just to use the most modern tool. The goal is to build something that really suits you and works for you and for your project. The best things are those things that are sustainable, that can be configured and can be changed, and that give you the freedom and simplicity you need. And again, keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate your project, because in the long run, simplicity is the real advantage. Thanks for watching, and see you on our next video.